Hello, everyone. It's Mr. Harland. Yeah, but seriously though, it's Mr. Harland. Uh, First off, it's come to my attention that I've heard, especially watching the glare, the glare. I think that's how you're supposed to say it. I don't know. But yeah, I think that's how it should be said. The glare, and you should definitely say it on a landmine too. The glare, and you'll be jumping up in the air with glee while going glare. But as under, it was brought to my attention, though I heard about it. That there's some loser. I don't know, AWP something. Jared, I honestly don't care about the dude. Being charged with 2 counts of rape. Honestly, all I gotta say is just goodbye. Go rot. I hope you rot in prison. Goodbye, dude. That's all I gotta say about that. But anyways, we got us here another... No, not a computer hacker, but an art thief, because I talk about art thieves too. After all, if the art is beautiful, I don't see why not anybody would just, yoink, just rip it off the wall. But today we're going to talk about this man named Vincenzo Perugia, who was born on October the 8th, 1881, and he's most famous for stealing the Mona Lisa out of all paintings. He was an Italian museum worker, artist, and most famous for stealing the Mona Lisa from the Louvre Museum in Paris on August the 21st, 1911. Wow. 1911 was a good year because the world's largest passenger liner, even though it wasn't the Titanic, it was Titanic's sister ship, Olympic, came down the slipway. Amazing. It was launched, completed, although it had a lot of accidents, and Jesus, it was still popular. It was a shame it was scrapped. But anyways, 1911 was a rather interesting year. And time to be alive. It was really odd, especially when this made world headlines, because you wouldn't expect someone to steal the Mona Lisa, but someone did. Because in 1911, in Peru, the man Vincenzo Perugia perpetrated what has been described as the greatest art theft of the 20th century. It was a police theory that the former Louvre worker hid inside the museum on Sunday, August the 20th, knowing the museum would be closed the following day. But according to Perugia's interrogation in Florence after his arrest, he entered the museum on Monday the 21st of August, around 7 a.m. through the door where the other Louvre workers were entering. He said he wore one of the white smocks that the museum employees customarily wore and was indistinguishable from the other workers. When the Salon Carré, where the Mona Lisa hung, was empty, he lifted the painting off the 4 iron pegs that secured it to the wall and took it to a nearby service staircase. There he removed the protective case and frame, and some people report that he concealed the painting which Leonardo painted on wood under his smock, but Perugia was only 160 centimeters or 63 inches tall, and the Mona Lisa measures approximately 53 centimeters by 77 centimeters. In inches, that would be 21 inches by 30 inches. So it would not fit under a smock worn by someone his size. Instead, he said he took off his smock and wrapped it around the painting, tucked under his arm, and left the Louvre through the same door he had entered. Wow, I'm surprised no one noticed that while he was just walking around with that. Perugia hid the painting in his apartment in Paris. After keeping the painting hidden in a trunk in his apartment for 2 years, Perugia returned to Italy with it. He kept it in his apartment in Florence, Italy for some time. However, Perugia eventually grew impatient and was finally caught when he contacted Mario Fratelli. The owner of an art gallery in Florence. Ooh, I had to mute myself and sneeze. Fratelli's story conflicts with Perugia's, but it was clear that Perugia expected a reward for returning the painting to what he regarded as its homeland. Fratelli called Giovanni Poggi, director of the Uffizi Gallery, who authenticated the painting. Poggi and Fratelli, after taking the painting for safekeeping, informed the police, who arrested Perugia at his hotel. After its recovery, the painting was exhibited all over Italy with banner headlines rejoicing its return. The Mona Lisa was then returned to the Louvre in 1913, while the painting was famous before the theft. The notoriety it received from the newspaper headlines and the large-scale police investigation helped the artwork become one of the best known in the world, gaining even more considerable public interest. There are currently two predominant theories when it comes to the motivations of the theft of the Mona Lisa. Perugia said he did it for a patriotic reason. He wanted to bring the painting back for display in Italy after it was stolen by Napoleon. When Perugia worked at the Louvre, he learned of how Napoleon plundered many Italian works of art during the Napoleonic Wars. Although perhaps in his sincere motivation, Vincenzo may not have known that Leonardo da Vinci took this painting as a gift from France. One, when he moved to France to become a painter in his court during the 16th century, 250 years before Napoleon's birth. Experts have questioned the patriotism motive on the grounds that if patriotism was the true motive, Perugia would have donated the painting to an Italian museum rather than have attempted to profit from its sale. The question of money is also confirmed by letters that Perugia sent his father after the theft. On December the 22nd, 1911, 4 months after the theft, he wrote that Paris was where I will make my fortune, and that his fortune will arrive in one shot. The following year, 1912, he wrote, I am making a vow for you to live long and enjoy the prize that your son is about to realize for you and for all our family. Put on trial, the court agreed to some extent that Perugia committed his crime for patriotic reasons and gave him a lenient sentence. He was sent to jail for 1 year and 15 days, but was hailed as a great patriot in Italy and only served 7 months in jail. Wow. Smooth move, France. Smooth move for doing that. Another theory emerged later. The theft may have been encouraged or masterminded by Eduardo de Valferino, a con man who had commissioned the French art forger Yves Chaudron to make copies of the painting so he could sell them as the missing original. The copies would have gone up in value if the original were stolen. This is based entirely on a 1932 article by former Hearst journalist Carl Decker in the Saturday Evening Post. Decker claimed to have known Valferino and heard the story from him in 1913, promising not to print it until he learned of Valferino's death. There is no external confirmation for this tale. His later life, well, yeah, usually everybody has a later life. Perugia was released from jail after a short time and served in the Italian army during World War I. During the war, he was captured by Austria-Hungary and held as a POW for 2 years until the war ended and he was released. He later married and had one daughter, Celestina, oh god, I have fun pronouncing these names, returned to France and continued to work as a painter, decorator, wow, there was someone else in history who wanted to be a painter. Instead, he turned out to be one of the most evil people in the world. If anyone knows who I'm talking about, this certain Austrian, Hungarian failed painter, put that, if you got the answer, put it down in the comments section. I'll give you a heart and a thumbs up. And maybe I'll put in that, I'll reply saying, good job, old sport. You get an A+. I don't know. It's just something. If you know the answer, put it down in the comments. Who is this? I might do this, and I might not do this for every video, but I had an idea. A question of the day. It's like, who was, and this is today's, I might not do this anymore, but for today, I just want to see if anybody knows this. Who was the failed Austro-Hungarian painter who would become worldwide, but not for being a failed painter, but for something bigger than that, and is considered one of the most worst people in the world, second to that of, well, Joseph Stalin and some other people, including some bastard, some punk in Russia who's fighting Ukraine. Come on, man, just give it up. Nobody likes you in Russia no more. You're a big baby. You're a man baby who's balding. That's right, Putin. I said you're a balding man baby. Alright, now back to this Vincenzo Perugia. I called him Peruga. Oh, God. Decorator using his birth name, Pietro Perugia. Wow. Pietro. Didn't know that was his actual birth name. He died on October the 8th, 1925, his 44th birthday in the Paris suburb of Saint-Maro-de-Fosses, France. He was buried in the Conde Cemetery of Saint-Maro-de-Fosses. Sometime in the 1950s, Perugia's remains were exhumed and relocated into the cemetery bone locker. Huh, I didn't know that existed, or that was such a thing. His death in 1925 was not widely reported by the media at the time, possibly because he died under the name of Pietro Perugia. Obituaries appeared mistakenly only when another Vincenzo Perugia died in Haute-Savoie in 1947. He's had a portrayal in a German sound film called The Robe de Mona Lisa by Willie Forrest. And then there was another movie, a television miniseries called The Man Who Stole La Gioconda. What? And then there was, in April of 1956, an episode of the TV show You Are There called The Recovery of the Mona Lisa. And then in an episode of Drunk History on Comedy Central, he was portrayed by Jack Black. I actually like the sound of that. I always thought Jack Black was cool. Oh, come on, he is cool, people. Oh, Jesus. Some people don't, some people do. Then again, I might be crazy if I was to say Arlie. Army is cool. He's especially cool for that commercial where he calls someone a jackwagon! But other than that, that'll be it for today's video. Video number 2 will be next after this one, but if you liked it, hey, feel free to like, subscribe, share with friends and families, and leave a comment in the comments section down below. And then don't forget to hit that bell because it'll give you a notification for my next video. It's amazing what technology has become nowadays. But that'll be it. And as one YouTuber said, we shall do this very soon again, my friends. And let's go Blues because they're playing against the Boston Bruins today. Let's see if they can actually win, because The day I was there at the Enterprise Center, formerly known as the Kiel Center, Savi Center, and I grew up with the name Scout Trade Center, my disappointment was immeasurable, and my day was ruined when I saw the Blues lose 5-1 against the Los Angeles Kings. Kings fans, you share the same day the Blues debuted, June 5th, 1967. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. You're attacking your own family. But other than that, nah, I'm just kidding. But other than that, goodbye, all. Watch me dig a mine, people! I will need them power plants now. 11 power station located in Missouri. Let's jump. Everybody jump. Doot, doot, doot. Woo, yay. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye.